Welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra, broadcasting live from Southern California, Los Angeles. So, I've been asked to talk about fear and also what happens when you move from the fear to your heart and you open your heart to existence. And which it's very much aligned this conversation with the principles of the shift that we're having towards a fifth dimensional consciousness. And all the teachings that I do share with you are rooted in an ancient wisdom of Advaita Vedanta. And so let me just uh, make it very clear, very simple, and we get into the details of what we're talking about and what is it that we're relaying to each other regarding what is happening on in the human psyche and what's happening on this planet at this moment. Last week, I was talking about the fact that there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of information we're being bombarded by, and uh, we talked about like some people are channeling or they're getting messages, and we wanted to put some clarity in that area as far as the bottom line is everything is coming from the source. So there is one source. We can imagine that there is one central computer entity, which this central computer entity is sending messages through thoughts and feelings through every vehicle that is connected to. So if you can imagine that, like every single laptop or desktop or the phone that you're connecting to go on internet and using internet and receiving information in whatever form it is, whatever sort of information you're getting, whether it's an email, it's a text message, it's a photo, it's a video, whether your friend sends it to you, you send it to them, um, as well as whether you're surfing the net, you want to check the score on a soccer game, you want to check to see the news, um, you're watching a YouTube video, whatever you're doing that is required going online and connecting to the great, internet is connected to, we can use that as a metaphor and look at it like the way the body, the mind, these mechanisms are operating. The way they operate is based on the information that is they're receiving and they're reacting. So in a way, the brain is like a receiver. It's receiving information, receiving the thoughts, the senses, receiving these whatever they sense, and it translates to emotions. And so what happens is when we haven't arrived at full realization, when we're still a human being and we're carrying this sense, we have this sense of separation, that you are a single entity in this world and you're operating in separation. You don't feel the oneness. Maybe there are moments that you feel the oneness. There are moments like there's you get out of your mind and there's that. But the rest of the time, there's this sense, this feeling that you're responsible for your own action and you are responsible to think about your future and take care of your business and your well-being now. And major part of the worry that we have is our future. So I want you to take a moment right now and pay attention to what I'm sharing with you, because this will make a major change in your life if you get it, if you understand it. So let's take a moment. Every time you're worried, worried is fear, isn't it? Okay. And you're worried about what? Let's look at it. Let's look at look at a few of your major worries in life right now, and see what you're worried about. Let's look at it. Okay. Take your time. What are you worried about or you're concerned about? These are the same words. I'm really concerned about something. Maybe you're not really worrying, okay? I'm using the word worry because it's simple. But let's say maybe you're concerned about something, okay? And let's look at two or three of things that you are really concerned about, okay? So, Ms. Hilda, I want to ask you, what are some of, give me one or two of the things you're worried about or you're concerned about that
Yeah.
occupies your mind.
I'm occupied right now by, I'm afraid that people will leave me. I don't cope. I don't manage if people are raising their voice to me, have a bad tone. And then I go back to some old stuff that if someone is talking to me like that, they will leave.
Okay, good. So basically it's a fear of abandonment.
Yes.
You're concerned that you do something that somebody gets upset with you. Maybe they raise their voice on you or they leave you. They
Mm.
yeah, and you're
Yeah.
left out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a very valid concern. And there's nothing, you know, uh, w- I would say most people on this planet, they have this in their psyche of being left out. And of course, this is very, very deeply rooted to our very first experience with our parents. And it's there for every single human being on this planet to be left out. So, and I can get into that, where it comes from and all the details of it. But for the moment, right now, for the sake of what we're talking about, uh, we we're gonna stay here and look at this. Okay, so this worry that I may get left out, is it right now or it's in the future? I get left out right now or I get left out in the future?
In the future.
In the future. And this left out, where does it come from? I mean, you been left out?
Yeah, I was born 6 weeks too early, so I putting into a ventilator or what you call it. So
Right.
I think it's, yeah, and my parents were ill and everything. So I think when I was a little girl, I was afraid that they should leave me.
Right.
They were not there at the hospitals and stuff.
Right. Okay.
But
So
but no one, the most funny thing is that no one in my older life, my grown-up life, has left me.
right.
But I still have
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Yeah,
But
it's deep.
yeah. So okay, that's good. Let's hang on here. Anita, do you have any concerns or worries? Anything that is in your psyche on regular basis that you really deal with? If you feel like sharing it with us. I can't hear you.
I think, or I have the feeling a lot of times that I don't belong to anything or anybody. I'm like outside always.
Okay. So
and people and a strong feeling that people don't like me.
okay. But all right, but that is that a worry or is it fear or it's just it's a feeling you have?
It's true. It's a feeling. It's not a worry.
Right. Is it true? You feel like it's really true or no?
Yeah, sometimes yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okie dokie. Thank you. That's that. Anybody else want to just share something that you are maybe worried about? Your retirement, your future? Um, are you going to be without love? Are you going to be broke? Um, anyone? Anything? What's going to happen in the world? Are we going to get invaded? Susanna, go ahead. You're muted.
I sometimes be worried about that. Something happened with my son. I only have Andreas, and I have my son. My other kids are gone; they are dead. And I have a cut with my family in 2008, so that I can survive.
So okay, let me keep
and they
it.
all are dead. I can't, and they all are dead. And now I think, oh, I have only Andreas, and I have my son. And my son is the importance. He's a part of me. He's coming out of me.
Right. Okay. So let me keep it short. So and also other people can hear it because I'm also broadcasting on Instagram. So you have a concern that maybe your son leaves you for any reason. Okay. All right. So great. Thank you. I appreciate all three of you for sharing with me. Unless anybody else has something to say? No? Okay. Okay. Yeah, Elijah, go ahead.
Yeah, I often end up in this pattern that I want people to be happy, and if something is not functioning, then I want to kind of affect them and try to make them see things in a different way so that problems doesn't show up. And I feel kind of a big responsibility.
That if somebody say that again, you're
if there are some kind of conflict or something going on,
okay,
then I have this big responsibility to make everything good and impact loved ones. And yeah.
So your concern is that you come short and you're not able to make peace and making sure everyone's happy.
I don't know what come short means.
Means like you're not able to create a situation that this person or these people are happy. You don't want them, you don't want conflict. You're worried about conflict. You're concerned that
and it's also when it's involving me, I want to help them solve their conflicts that is kind of out of my thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, and is that happening right now in your life?
Yeah, but yes, but I've become really cool about it, and there was one thing appearing right now, and then it just solved itself. So yeah,
right. Beautiful.
I've become more cool and relaxed about it, and not like, oh, I don't have to push too much. I just have to relax.
Great.
Yeah, all is well. Yeah. and then
Yeah.
it feels somehow.
Great.
But a big thing that I often experience, it is that I kind of feel that I get stuck in some kind of systems. And then I don't want to be in this kind of system. I want to be free. And then it's like, how can I figure out this system?
Right.
When
So
it comes to society.
So the fear or the concern of getting stuck into some kind of system. I want to
be my own boss.
Right. I get it. Cool. Okay. I appreciate it. This was great input. So we're coming back to the essence of what we're talking about. Basically, now everything I hear and is like, this is a fear, is a concern, okay, that we have from the past, a thought, and something has happened that whatever it is that has triggered us, that I may be left out, or maybe people don't like me, or I may be stuck in a system and I can't free myself. So obviously it's a concern, but it's something that is programmed in our psyche from the past. And at the present moment, in a way, we're not really concerned about it because we're not left out, or Elijah's not in a system in that way. Or people like me, or I think maybe they don't like me. But all of it, if you really look at it in this moment, if you come back here right now, is any of these concerns exist in this moment? Let's just come back here. Am I left out in this moment? Am I stuck in a system in this moment? Just look at it. Am I not being liked? Or my son will leave me? Is my son or mom or partner, husband, wife leaving me in this moment? Am I left out? Now you come back here. You just stop whatever you're doing and just bring your attention back to here and just look at it here, from here. Hilda, do you feel like you're left out in this moment? You're abandoned?
No, I still have that fear in my stomach right now.
Yeah, but come back. I understand that. And that's fine. The fear is there, correct?
Yes.
We're not saying get rid of the fear, fight the fear or anything. But when you objectively, in this moment, you come back and you look at it, in your reality in the moment, are you left out? Are you abandoned in this moment?
No, not right now.
Not right now. Okay. And Susanna, what about for you? Is this like, are you left out in this moment? I can't hear you. Are you left out, or this is a concern that you may get left out? I understand what happened in your past. No, I'm not talking about your past. I'm only talking about right now.
I feel good now, and I know everything is okay. It's only my brain.
I understand that.
To think he will maybe leave, but he no, everything is okay.
Right.
When I'm with me and here, everything is okay.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So when we come back here in this moment, Anita, do you feel like you're not being liked in this moment?
No, not in this moment.
Because I like you, so
I know.
I think our other brothers, sisters in our academy community, I feel like they like you. I know Hilda likes you. She's told me she likes you. So
I love you, Anita.
I too. I too.
yeah, well, she was very happy when you came to Hamar, and was asking me, "Oh, can I invite her?
Zarathustra. Oh, Anita is coming to Hama. Yeah.
Can I invite her to come back, or you're gonna go to Frankfurt?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead. You can invite her to come back." Yeah. So
That's true.
yeah. So when we come back here, do you feel stuck right now, Elijah, in this moment? Do you feel at the at this time, are you feeling stuck in a system or anything?
Not here and now, absolutely
Not
not.
here and now. This is all I want to hear. Not here and now. And can you be outside of here and now? Can I go anywhere else outside of here and now? I mean, let's say right now it's evening time. It's around 6:30 p.m. in your time, 6:37, something around that, right? Okay. Now, okay, the way you feel right now, 3, 4 hours from now on, you may not be feeling like 3 hours from now on, 4 hours from now on. Like you may feel like you want to sleep. Some of you maybe go to bed early. Some of them are night owls, like me and Hilde and Renata.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, a couple of us like to stay up till 4, 5 in the morning, and and I sleep around 12, 1 o'clock at night when I can sleep. Um, so, but 3, 4 hours from now on, you think you're going to be the same? What I'm saying is 3, 4 hours from now on, those of you who are accustomed to going to bed early, you're going to be yawning and you're tired, and you're getting ready to sleep. So it's going to be 3, 4 hours from now on, it's a different story. But 3, 4 hours from now on, when you're sleepy and you're yawning and you're getting ready to sleep, you are still in here and now. When you wake up tomorrow morning, whether in Norway, Sweden, Germany, Poland, you wake up tomorrow morning, you wake up again in here and now. It's always now and it's always here. So even though the mind comes and make a story, if you look at it objectively, if you perceive it objectively, even you may not be feeling it, okay? But if you look at it objectively, if you train yourself to look at this objectively, whenever you come back to here and now, and you look, don't have any problems. Are Russians invading Poland? Is Russia in war with Germany? Is the war coming from Ukraine to Europe, rest of the Europe? When right now, when you're just in here and now, you say no. Everything is working. There's plenty of food. There's services that are working. The phone's working. Electricity working. We have water. There's no rockets or bombs falling on our heads. It's everything is okay right now in this moment, right now. But we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Anything can happen tomorrow. You're not necessarily going to be here tomorrow. Maybe you're gone. Maybe I'm gone. But right now, which is the only moment we know of, it's right now here. And when you look at it objectively in this moment, at your current situation, you see like that in this moment everything is fine. Now your mind comes And what the mind does, your thoughts come, or this feeling like there's something down deep, and it says, you'll be left out, or I may get left out. But it's good for you to identify that this thought or this emotion you're having, it's from the past. It's not here right now. So what you want to do is you want to become conscious and aware of this situation, and not fall asleep into an unconscious pattern of getting pulled into the fear and keep repeating the same pattern. So I become aware, okay, let's say, for example, that, okay, let's say somebody is concerned about their future as far as financially. What's going to happen to me? I don't have any retirement plans. I don't have any savings, no stocks, no cryptos, no real estate. What's going to happen to me 5 years from now on, or when I get old? And there's a lot of people who worry about their future, worry about the future of their kids, worry about what's going to happen to planet Earth. There's a lot of worry, worry, worry. But again, you come back here. Whenever I come back here, it's like, okay, in this moment, right now, I have enough to eat. I have money to put gas in my car. I got a roof over my head. I got, my phone is working. My family is okay. Everything I need right now in this moment, I have in this moment. Everything I need is here. And of course, it's the nature of the mind, and also it's our society today, which is very much future oriented. You're continuously talking about future. Like if you're in the US, the American dream or the US system is always working. Like all of the stores, everything is open 7 days a week. Some of them are 24 hours, 7 days a week. Then you go to Europe or Asia or South America or other countries that they take a few hours from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's siesta time. Everything shuts down. People go home, have lunch, and take a nap. And then again, they start in the afternoon. We don't have such a thing in America. We work always. A lot of places in the world, Sundays are closed. Everything is closed. There's nothing going on. They shut down. Here, everything's open 7 days a week. So the mentality is always about growth and making more money, and they're always concerned. And then what they do is they start leveraging themselves. So buying more homes, condos, cars, but everything is based on a loan. So we can easily get a loan and buy something. Now we become slaves because we have to constantly working to pay our loans off. So the system is also continuously bombarding you to think about your future, savings, 401k, retirement. So I continuously coming across friends, family, colleagues that they live in the fear of future. All of them are wealthy. Most of my friends and family and people I'm in contact with from my past, they're all doing very well financially, but they're all worried about future, of it doesn't matter. I mean, I had a friend who was worth $1 million. Now he's worth $30 million. I call him and I talk to him. He's worried about the future of his kids, their college education, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, to my mind, it's like, when is this going to stop? Because when you were at $1 million, you were worried about the future of your family. And now you're worth $30 million and you're worried about the future of your family. At what point is this going to end? At one point, you're not going to worry. How much do you have not to be worried? But it doesn't matter. He can worth $100 million. It's not the amount of money in his bank account, it is his mind. It's the fear of future, fear of an unknown situation, which nobody knows. But a part of us chooses to pick up the worst case scenario instead of that part of us choosing we live in freedom. Everything is fine and everything's going to be fine. Somehow our mind doesn't want to do that and wants to go to the worst case scenario. Do you see this? I want you to contemplate over this. Because this is going to really help to consciously become aware of this pattern that you are stuck into. And you're also being bombarded and brainwashed throughout the years. And it's surrounding you because you're bombarded by your parents, your brothers, sisters, by your education, by your government, by your society. Everything is brainwashing you 24 hours a day not to be here, to be somewhere else. And technology is a great example of it. The moment you learn how to work with your phone or you find how to work with an application, it's changed to something else. You buy a phone or a laptop, and next year that phone or laptop is old already. I just got to figure out how to work with this thing, and now it's obsolete. So everything is very much future oriented and very much fear oriented. So for one moment, just think about this. I want you to think about this. I forgot to connect my computer to electricity, so it may die at any moment, so I need to connect it. While you are thinking, just look at this. This whole thing that's haunting you, and you're not the only person, okay? Everyone is doing it. So this thing that's haunting you, this fear, just for a moment, sit with it and look at it and see, where is it coming from? A. B, what kind of power does it have over you? When you open your heart to love, when you come back to the heart center, what kind of power does it have? Just sit with it for a moment. Oh, great. I got it. Thank you. So, yeah, when we really sit with it, you come back here, come back to this place, to your heart of the presence. And you're looking from inside. Are you abandoned? Are you left out right now? Are you stuck in a system? Are you not being liked? Are you homeless? And then when you come back here in this moment, and then you realize, you can see in this moment, only this moment, not the previous moment and not the next moment. Here, you realize like there's nothing going on, it's perfect. Here. Maybe not perfect the way you want it to be, your idea or my idea of perfection. Because if I want to start and painting my life, I say, oh yeah, I like to have more money and I like to blah 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 or whatever stuff. Everybody's around me, they're worshiping me, they're loving me. I can have plenty of objects. Normally, perfection, we relate it to objects. Whether you want to have sex, you want to have a better car, you want to have money, you want to have a better apartment or house, or have multiple places to live. You want to have enough money to be able to travel around the world and never concern yourself with work. And sometimes people say, oh yeah, well, my real concern is to be free, freedom, consciousness, awareness. But how can you become free if you are objectifying your freedom into objects? Because it doesn't matter, I have all the stuff. I got the yacht, I got the plane, I can travel, I can go anywhere I want. Now what I'm doing is I'm chasing the pleasures of life. So pleasures of life are not equal, they don't equal happiness. Happiness is not in the pleasures, pursuit of pleasures of life. And I guarantee you that, well, I can't guarantee anything, but I have gone to the extreme of pursuing the pleasures of life. The extreme. Because I'm an extremist. Addict and extremist. And I've done that in all ways, every single way is possible. I have gone to the extreme of it, of wanting to, thinking like, if by not being aware that I'm pursuing the pleasures of life and mistaking it for happiness. Happiness is not there. Because whatever pleasures you're going to be experiencing, the opposite is going to come to your life too. Because you're in the dimension of dualities. You can't have one without the other. And the freedom we're looking for is not into acquiring objects. And objects including feelings and thoughts. So then where is it? If it's not in the objects, so where is it? And how can I overcome the fear of being abandoned? And you're not the only one who thinks that way. You're not the only one who experiences loneliness. A vast majority of human beings feeling lonely. Not alone, lonely. It's like an epidemic. And one of the ways is to have pets. You have a cat, you got a dog, you have 5 cats, 3 dogs, whatever. Because you come home and you want to feel, because your kids left you, your parents are gone, your lovers are gone, you don't really get along with people, or they're not into you, or whatever. Especially if you live in Western Hemisphere and Western world, that families are fallen apart, people living in the cities, and it's not tribal living anymore. And also modern life, that everybody has their own autonomy and they want to do their own thing. 100 years ago, you didn't really leave your town. You stayed in your town and your family was there. Whether you suffered from them or not, but you had your brothers, sisters, parents, grandmas. 100, 200 years ago, everybody lived in the same village, town, or city. Nobody left. People didn't really travel. Now we have gone through this revolution. Technology allows us to live on our own. We learned to break through. Women became liberated. Their freedom is no longer based on at age 21, 22 to get married and have kids, because for a long time that was the only way you can escape your parents and not live with your parents, to marry someone. But now they're free from that. And that doesn't exist anymore in most places. So, but now we don't have tribal living anymore. We're not living in our with our tribes. So we experience loneliness because we're isolated. And if you enter into the world of spirituality and you're practicing, you somehow get more isolated, because now the pool of the people you could draw from is more limited. There's less people interested in what you're doing. If you were interested in football and you were a die-hard football fan, you would have a big pool of people to connect with. But you're interested in the world of spirit, and your choices are limited. And now the deeper you go within yourself, the more you're climbing up the mountain of consciousness, the less people are in your level. Because that's also at the bottom, the base of this mountain of consciousness, it's very superficial. Everybody's spiritual right now, or they have the appearance of spirituality. But then you're digging deeper and going within yourself, there is the sense that you're lonely. You're alone. Most people feel lonely. But let me tell you something else. You are lonely, or you feel lonely, because you're doing sadhana. Sadhana. You're doing spiritual penance. You're in your warrior training program, and a part of your training program at this stage in your life is to learn being alone. That's why Her Majesty the Supreme, the boss, who runs everybody, and I've said that many times before, there is no free will. because there is no individual separated from the whole, from the source. It's all that. So, a part of our training for a lot of us is to be isolated, to be alone. You are in your monastery and you don't feel very connected to many people. And you don't feel like many people see you. And you don't even want to talk to a lot of people because you just don't have the energy for them and you don't want to explain yourself. So it appears that you're processing stuff alone. But I assure you, this is designed to be that way. You are not alone, number one. Your Sat Guru is right here with you. You're in the presence of Her Majesty, our beloved Lord God, the Creator, is holding you beautifully in her arms, and you're a baby, and your head is pressing against her bosoms. She's holding you, loving you. You may feel lonely, but she's brought you to this point in your life purposely. It's her will for you to be alone in an apartment, somewhere cold, or wherever dark in Europe, like in this time of the year. Feeling isolated, feeling lonely, but that's part of your training program. That's the warrior training program. You're getting prepped, you're getting ready for what comes next. But you have to go through this period. And this period could be like 6 months or it could be 50 years. It doesn't matter, because in the grand scale, time doesn't exist. So while you're in this situation and you're cooking or that you feel isolated, it's a very, very difficult part. It's really a very hard part you're going through. It's very good you stay connected with your guru if you have an other guru or guide or teacher that you can go to, because that makes a world difference. Someone who's gone to this and it keeps reinforcing you, or it's heartwarming that you go to your teacher and your teacher encourages you to stay on the path from going crazy. Because sometimes you want to shoot yourself or you want to jump off the balcony, or you feel so lost or so isolated. But these are all by design. All the big ones who reached the top of the mountain, they got to the top of Mount Everest of consciousness. At one point or the other, they went through this period, this life or past life. They had to go through this. This is a part of the warrior's training program of becoming comfortable being by yourself and discovering the power that is inside you, that you're surrounded by the love of God and you're not lonely. You are alone, but you're not lonely. And you're guided and you're taken care of. And as difficult as it may seem, you stay here as much as you can. You come back here, because that's the teaching. The teaching is what they're trying to make you understand and really settles in you, is to come back here because the mind goes out there. What if I get left out? You don't think I have never thought about this, or I never dealt with it? What if I get left out? What's going to happen to me 10 years from now on? Am I going to be broke? Am I going to be on the street in Venice Beach with a cardboard, living, being homeless? Am I going to be lonely? Why don't I have a partner? Why don't I have a normal life like everyone else? The station wagon, the Volvo station wagon with the kids and the dog in the back, and the suburban house. You don't think I haven't thought about that? You don't think those thoughts come for other people? You're not the only one who goes through that. Millions of people on this planet. In Europe right now, they're worried about the war. What's going to happen to us? What's going to happen in the future? And that's every time you catch yourself, you go there. I want you to catch yourself and bring yourself back here to this moment. Without blaming yourself or beating yourself up. Of, oh, I Zarathustra told me I need to be here, and I'm not very good at it, I messed up. No, none of those stories. Because every time you remember that here and now is your home, here and now. And there is nowhere else outside of here. There's nowhere else outside of here that you wherever you are, it's here, and at whatever time it is, it's now. And you can never ever be outside of it. And in here and now, everything, all is always well. In here and now. The moment you come back to here and now, there's nothing going on. It's still. It's like boom, like this. Hook. Nothing is happening. The waters are calm. There's no wind. There's no storm. There's nothing going on. It's calm, quiet. I'll move a little bit here, out of it. Here and now. Examine it for yourself. Don't take my word. I want you to come back here. Check it out. Outside of your mind, leave the mind out and come back here. And check it out and tell me if there is a problem. I want to know.
And also, if there is a problem, it can just dissolve in like an instant when we come back to here and now, because there is infinite possibilities available.
Yes. Yeah. You come back here and then boom. So it's the recognition, it's recognizing that, okay, wait a minute. I'm in a monastery. And it's by design of Her Majesty the Supreme that I have to be single. and it's God's will that I keep working on myself, I can keep going into my childhood issues, blah, blah, blah. But for me, it's not that. For me, is here, right now, here, in this moment, here. Don't go anywhere, Zarathustra. Well, what's going to happen to my career? What's going to... Here, Zarathustra, back. Here. We are taking care of you. Every single time that my mind into the future goes to some dark place, and it's like something snaps you back here again and reminds me that we are taking care of everything. We're the one who pays the bills. We're the one who drives. When you're driving, you're not driving because your attention goes to your phone. I'm sending a text to Hilde. I'm sending a text to, I want to call my mom because I'm late. And my attention goes to the phone. But somehow this car is driving and doesn't get in an accident. Yet somebody else gets in an accident and they get killed. We are driving your car, Zarathustra. We're the one who pays the bills. We're the one who are flying you to another country. We're the one who book you in Norway and work and come back. You are not doing anything. We're the one who's doing it. So relax. Then the mind again goes, oh my God, how is this going to happen? Again, the boss comes and says, oh, Zarathustra, I love you. Don't worry, I'm taking care of you. But the mind comes and says, well, I want more. Well, ask me a question. Do you want more? Somebody wants to ask that question? Zarathustra, do you want more?
Do you want more, Zarathustra?
Yes, of course I want more.
Then you need to be satisfied where you are and to look forward to what's in front of you.
No, the mind wants more. The mind wants more because this is not enough. I want more money, I want bigger cars, I want faster cars, I want more homes, I want plane, I want more women, I want more booze, more everything. I want more. That's the nature of the mind. I want to be younger, I want to be bigger, I want to be taller, I want to have bigger arms. I want more hair. I want different color eyes. I want to be famous. I want to be worshipped. The mind is never going to be satisfied. Yet, I have everything I need. I have to remind myself every day that I have everything I need. And when I stop, that's why I love to go hiking in the mountains or be alone in the desert. That's why a big part of my life is really love being alone by myself. Yet I really love interaction and being around other people because that's my nature. I really need that too. But a part of me, like all of you who live alone, most of you living alone, is have someone come and live with you for a week. And you can't wait for them to leave. You're going to go crazy after a week because you're so much used to your own space, your own way of doing something, and that space that you have for yourself. You don't realize how much you have fallen in love with your silence and your own space until someone is in your space. I don't care You met the guy, this hot guy you've been looking for all your life. You've been looking for this man all of your life and he showed up. You still won your own space. For a week or two, it's great. Then you're just going to realize how much you really enjoy your time. And you see couples that they're always together. They go in the morning to coffee together. They're going exercise together. They're going to yoga together, blah, 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 blah. And you envy, like, oh my God, I wish I had that. Well, try to do it. After 2 weeks, you go crazy because you're so much used to your own space. This is the sacred space. This is a temple you're living in. But yeah, it gets too much because you also need company. You need a lover, you need a friend, you need husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, whatever name you want to put to it. You need some touch, you need skin, you need to have sex, you need to have orgasms, you need to be satisfied, you need someone to tell you how pretty you are, appreciating you, touching you, adoring you, and you do that to them and yourself. I understand that. So it needs to be balanced. It can't just be monastery all the time because then you get crazy. And that's what happens to a lot of people on spiritual path. They're lonely a lot. So they end up going in an ashram or something. But that's why also we need our teachers. We need our teacher, we need our guru, we need our guide to stay connected to that energy. Because the wise man, the wise woman always brings you back into here. Your teacher always, Papaji always brings me back to here. Even though after 15 years of teaching this, I still go to my teacher. I need my teacher. I go on YouTube and I listen to Papaji. I listen to Ramesh Balsekar. I listen to my other teachers that I respect and trust. Because sometimes you're also involved in the world. And there are times like, okay, it's so overwhelming. You're bombarded by so many different things that you feel lost. And it's like, okay, I'm going to come back. Boom. You have access to the Library of Alexandria. It's called laptop, computer. Open it up, boom, boom. YouTube. Go to one of the teachers you love and you respect, and they give you a transmission over online. And then you just, oh, okay, good. Oh, I needed to come back here. Okay, great. Or you go drive in the middle of nowhere by yourself, or you go to the mountains or forest or the beach or whatever, and you get back connected to the nature again. And it's like, oh, okay. Because everybody needs a tune up every once in a while. I don't care who you are. I don't care how enlightened you have become. I don't care all these big time teachers you see on internet. Okay? All these big names you see, they need tune ups too. They need to take time off and go and tune themselves up because they get doubts too. They get into trouble too. They get frustrated or exhausted. They all in a human body, everybody on this planet has to experience the ups and downs. As long as you're in a human body, nobody's immune to it. No matter how enlightened you are. You also need to recharge. You also need to take time. You also need to reflect.
Thank you. It helped.
Yeah, you come back here. And from here, you begin to look at the harmonic conversion, harmonic flow of life. Get into the habit. Make this a habit of, instead of being a person who's doing things, get into this habit consciously. Okay? Consciously remind yourself, look at it, that whatever you're doing, you're not the one who's doing it. It's being done through you. Get into the habit of seeing it. Instead of the person is doing it, it's God is doing it through you. Consciousness is operating through you. It's the consciousness who's putting things together and consciousness tearing things apart. Not you. Then you don't blame yourself for your mistakes. Because we spend a lot of time contemplating on our past, our mistakes, and why did I get here? I'm a fuck up. I fucked up. I made mistakes. I lost thousands of dollars of money in stock market. I messed up some amazing love connections that I could have been with. You keep going back to these things and blaming yourself for it and beating yourself up. And then you're using the same thing that I'm going to be lonely all of my life. I'm going to be ugly. I'm going to be old. I'm not going to be wanted. I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. No one's going to want me. If you want a partner, you want a man in your life, you want to have a woman in your life, it's not really the way you look. And it's not really how much money you have or what kind of body you have. That's not the true thing they're attracted to. They're attracted to how cool you are, how relaxed you are with yourself. That's what attracts somebody to you, that you're very comfortable with yourself and you're not worried about someone leaving you. You're just very relaxed. You're not attached. You're not, at the moment you meet them, you're not all over them and trying to suck every breath out of them. You're just okay with yourself. They're there. You really enjoy it, but you don't have a story. And they leave. You're okay with that. And that's what attracts them to you, is your level of consciousness, your level of awareness. Not the way you look, not the way your body is, and not how much money you've got, how famous you are. It's your aura, that you're very comfortable being yourself and you're not mind fucking. And you give space to you're very happy by yourself and you're happy with them, but there's no heavy energy. You're just cool. And now they want to be with you. Because you become like a magnet. People they gravitate towards you. And I've experienced it with myself. When I'm in a space of I become needy, everyone runs away from me. When I'm needless, people are very attracted to me.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you
me too. When
Yeah.
I get like this desperate energy, then things are like moving away from me.
Yeah.
Then I lose things fall apart.
Yeah, people are not interested in you. Is this pushing away energy
Yeah.
versus this inviting. So, but that comes from this place of fear, because then you want to hang on to things because you're not trusting life, you're not trusting God, you're not trusting that you're taken care of, because that realization is not there. Once the realization comes that you're 100%, you've been taken care of, you are taken care of, everything is fine. Maybe it's not what you think it should be, but you're fine. And you're always going to be taken care of because God brought you to this planet. You are the expression of God. This is how God is living through you. And you're always going to be fine because you are the expression of the Absolute. Then your vibration changes. And you see very clearly, you start having this attitude that the source is putting things together, and the source can rip it off. It's all God's doing. You start seeing it through other people, through yourself, through life, and then your breath synchronizes with the breath of the planet because you're breathing together. You're seeing the flow of life. You start seeing it. So there's a harmonic conversion. You become harmonized. Even when things fall apart. I've experienced that so many times. Like last season, I give you an example. Some of you are involved in it with me right now. Like last season, with the European tour, everything all of a sudden fell apart. And then there was this thing for me to go to Turkey and work with a lot of Iranians. Everything fell apart. And then it was the Instagram. Like every day I was adding 1,000 people were adding me up. Everything I posted, I would get from 500 to 5,000 reviews. And all of a sudden, everything fell apart. Now I post something, 15 people like it, from 4,000 to 15 people. Everything disappeared. That same thing put it together, that same thing just made it fall apart. And then that same thing looks like it's putting it back together. You have to see this flow. And by seeing the flow, that means your consciousness is expanded, and you're seeing with the mind's eye, you're seeing it with your third eye, you're seeing things that there's the source, it's God behind everything. Now there's no individual. You're not, someone does something shitty, you see that they have no choice of doing it. Now you're not angry at people, you're not angry at life, because you are seeing like God is doing it. And you harmonize with that, and the quality of your life changes completely. Completely changes. You live in a much higher quality of life automatically. by just one realization, one attitude. Go ahead, Elijah, make it short because I went 20 minutes
Yeah.
over and I need to wrap it up.
I had this experience that someone turned into a monster, and when it happened, I could just see that it was like it was an extension of me, and it was not personal, but it was something for me to witness and experience. And it was like, yeah, it's like, yes, this is just part of the creation, and I'm observing God, and it's me. Yeah, this is just happening in the movie, and it's not personal, it's just happening.
Yes, yeah, people turn to monsters, whether you see it visually or it's inwardly. Yeah, and it can happen to me and you.
Yeah, and I was like, what is happening? This person is ooh, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then when this thing with being stuck in a system, I've experienced this like now recently, and then I was just like, yeah, but now this is happening, and this is the will of God, and I cannot see the higher picture right now. And okay, this is not a big deal. I'm just going to deal with it, and this is not personal, and I'm just going to do the things that is required. And then it seems like things are like easing up, and then yes, as you say, it feels harmonious. It's just like this soup of life, or what to call it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Wonderful Academy. I'm so glad we got together. For those of you who are viewing this broadcast for the first time, if you do wish to communicate with me at our weekly Academy sessions, the best thing is for you to go to our website, which is zarathustra.tv, and sign up and and register under the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. A copy of this broadcast will be emailed to you. We're also translating this to a podcast, my 5D Academy podcast. My social media pages are Zarathustra 5D, and my email is info@zarathustra.tv. So feel free to reach out. My website is zarathustra.tv as well. We're going to have two countries I'm visiting in May. May 20th, I'll be in Poland, 21st till 28th, 20 to 28. And then from 28th, 29th of May till June 5th, I am in Norway, in Hamar. So, and I'm changing the formats of my events and workshops, and new stuff coming, new meditations, new style of work, and everything, which everything is rooted into the realization of here and now, but coming up with new contents. And I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, you can contact Hilde Evenstad, or contact in Poland, you can contact Wudek at Arsiple, or you can write to me directly. And also, I have an opening for life training program. We changed and we discounted it, and it's very affordable now. If somebody wants to have a tailor-made training with me, feel free. I'm available for the next 2 months, and I can handle it. So just reach out, and then we talk about your needs and designing a program that suits your goals. Look forward to connecting with you, sending you lots of love and light. And those of you on Instagram, thank you for sharing my videos and your likes. And basically, feel free to write to me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. Share your thoughts. What do you think about what we talked about? Sending you lots of love and light, and look forward to connecting with you soon. I'm not exactly sure. I think our next academy is going to be on Thursday next week because I'm traveling. So Thursday next week is a safe date for me. Namaste.
Thank you for saying the truth with so much love.
Thanks for your love, Susanna. Sending you lots of love and light. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you all.
I do. Bye.
Love you. Bye.